All right, Ted, thank you and welcome back. Thank you for making yourself available for this interview series that I've put together to ask you some questions about tax liens, tax deeds, something that my folks need to know and learn about in investing in real estate. You know, I teach you guys to be in the business of the real estate business. I don't teach you how to just flip a house. I teach you how to have a multi-million-dollar business that rolls on year after year after year, that is willable and can be a dynasty in your family. So congratulations for being part of Street Smart. And I'm going to add to what you know how to do and really take you to the next level. And I've got none other than the world's expert on buying tax deeds and tax liens and getting out quickly and making your money is Mr. Ted Thomas.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you. So where would you like to start?
Now, this is my fourth interview, Ted, because we had so many questions that I came up with. I had to go through this process with breaking it down. So I'm going to just say to you that we've already given a lot of information on the other videos. So I'm going to talk to you in a different way. And after watching and listening to these videos, I just wanted to look at some of the successes that you've had. You know, you have so many students all over the country, in fact, from all over the world that are doing this. They're investing in this from the comfort of their home in Canada, in Australia, in Singapore, all over the country, all over the world, investing in this country. So we've got a plethora, a plentiful supply of these, and every single day the market changes. Every single day new properties come on, new opportunities come on. So it's not something it's not like water that's gonna dry out somewhere in the desert. This is something that gets replenished over and over. And the more properties that are developed, frankly, the more opportunity for people to not pay their taxes like they're supposed to pay. So there's even more. It's a growing industry, would you say?
Yes, it definitely is. There's over 2 million tax defaulted properties a year.
Over 2 million. That's amazing. So is it possible for my people to get started with only a few $1,000s?
You can get started with a few $1,000s, but keep in mind, if you get $2,000 investment, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to buy a $50,000 property? Good. You can go to the auction. If you get it for $2,000, then you could resell it and put it back into the marketplace. But if you want to do tax liens, it's a piece of cake, because the average house in the United States is still right around that $200,000 range. All right. So that would be 1 year's back taxes at 1%. So most taxes are about 1%. Now, there will be some counties that it's a little above that, but certainly you go to New Jersey and New York and California, you're going to find they have really high taxes. But in the small communities, you can find properties that you can start up by buying tax liens at $2,000, and you could be earning 16 or 18 or 24%. Absolutely. Now, I'm a big advocate of let's try to get some tax defaulted property for maybe just a little bit more. So one of the subjects they should be studying is how to bring other people to help them, give them, borrow the money from them, use their pension plans or whatever. We won't get into that now, but people really should be learning that.
Great. All right. So I really understand tax lien certificates. It seems like anyone can do it. But my question is there any complications that we need to make the folks aware of?
Yeah, the complication is this. You need to understand the difference between the two. A tax lien certificate is nothing more than a piece of paper. You're never going to get that property until you either own it, and your chances of owning it are 1 or 2%. The people pay their taxes. All right, so that's a simple investment. It's been around for 200 years. A more complex investment is buying at a tax defaulted auction. Now, that's not hard because you know how to raise your hand and do that. But what is hard is to make sure that the people do what you and I would do, because you see, you have a real estate investor client. I have a real estate investor client. But people that don't have any experience actually do better at this business than the people that do. But they have to be careful to understand you've got to look at the property. So the complexity is, who are you going to call to get to look at that property? You're going to go on Craigslist, you're going to call an attorney, have a paralegal, you're going to have a real estate. Someone needs to look at the property. So the complexity of it is, you can buy online all you want. There's going to be an abundance of it. And we specialize in teaching that. And I'm going to show you one in just a minute. All right. What happens, we teach them how to do that, but they had to have someone look at the property. So that's why I started them out with residential lots, because they don't burn down, they don't blow away. It's just a residential lot. So none of it's difficult, but there is a process. If they will follow a process, we can make them successful. If they won't follow the process, nobody's going to make them successful. Nobody.
It's like anything in life. I mean, if you give someone the step-by-step processes, the formula, the flow, and they follow that, they have success. And if they don't follow that, they don't have success. We've seen it in both of our businesses for so many years. We've seen people fail, and they say, "Why did I fail?" And say, "Well, let's go over what you did," and then you can see it right there. I learn it in coaching all the time. So, Ted, I'm an investor, and I think most of my clients are either investors or they want to be investors. Now, can they really make like $25,000 to $50,000 online doing this business?
Okay, well, let me show you an example. I'm going to ask my assistant to go to another camera right now. And as I go to this other camera, what you're going to see is what I put up there. Okay, now this is not, this year's, but this is a tax defaulted property list from Los Angeles, California. It's not the whole state. It's just the county of Los Angeles. Only the county of Los Angeles. Now, I'll give you some idea of the thickness of this.
Oh my.
Okay, this has got over 2,000 properties that they will sell. The starting bid is back taxes. There's over 2,000 properties here at this auction.
Wow. Now
you can just go to your other question.
Man.
Any question.
It's just fantastic. So Ted, the investment business is really filled with hype. I have clients that are grandmothers, grandfathers, working people that love to make an extra $50,000 in 1 year. Is it realistic for them to think that that's possible and to plan for that?
Yes, they can do that. And I'm going to show a woman online now that doesn't even live in the United States. And she has money. She has plenty of money. She hired investment advisors. She hired financial planners. She hired brokers. She said, I have a portfolio. Their family had money and they gave her the money. She said, all I want to do is make 5% a year. Small investor. Didn't really want to make, just make me 5% every year. And she never, in 19 years, never had anybody make her the 5%. She had a few that lost her 5%, but she never had anybody make it. So she said, can you teach me how to do this online? So I'm going to play her video and then you'll actually see it in a step-by-step process. She's going to make $25,000 profit on her first deal. Here's the video.
My name's Deb Murphy and I'm here in Kelowna, British Columbia. I had purchased my first property. I bought it for $24,000. It'll literally sell for $70,000. I'll probably list it around 75, 76, and it'll sell. I did it all online, by phone and by computer. Ted's material showed me that I can depend on the county records, what's online as far as property appraisers records, what's online as far as all the documentation around a property, that I could depend on knowing 75% of what's going on with that property without even stepping foot on it. So there's just so much more available online, and that's why we can do it successfully now from Canada. Ted really fills out the full picture. He wants you to be successful.
Now, Lou, it's hard to believe. She did that all online, and she never left Canada. She did it online and never left Canada. And that's what you could do with this business. So I only teach people, what you need to do is you make your money when you buy, not when you sell in this business. You make it when you buy. Well, if they're selling properties at 10 and 20 cents on the dollar, and it's worth 100 cents on the dollar, you figure it out. Can you make money? I can tell you right now, you can make plenty of money. So that was just another example. So why don't we button it up and do one more?
It's what we call a beautiful thing, Ted. I love, love, love what you're sharing with us here. These are things that have worked for others. There's no reason it can't work for us, for all of us that are on here today. So, okay, Ted, last deal. What is the best deal you've ever seen in this business?
The best deal I've ever seen? Wow, that's a tough one for me to answer. I have to scratch my head on that. The best deal I've ever seen is someone buy a property for 10 cents on the dollar and sell it for a lot more than that. So I'll show you a guy that bought, he started out in Los Angeles and he bought a residential lot. He paid, it was worth 229,000 and he bought it for 15 cents on the dollar and resold it in 30 days. Well, that got him so excited. He stayed online and he bought another property. This time he spent 130,000. This guy's a real investor. He sold it in 4 days because he only asked 280,000 for it. It was worth 400. He bought it for 130. He sold it for 280. He sold it in 4 days. Here's the video.
After that deal, I went to the Kitsap County in Washington and purchased a 5-acre parcel in Kingston, and I paid $131,000 for that property. It had a 1,300 square foot manufactured home and a barn on the property. Really nice property. I had it listed at $280,000 and I received a full price offer in 4 days.
Ted, I am blown away. This is exciting. And thank you so much for bringing us this information, sharing this today. And I know that we have worked together. We've come up with an idea here I think everybody's going to be interested in. It's a one day that we're going to go through soup to nuts, what to do, how to do it. Right, Ted? That you and me are going to be together.
We'll take it from the top. We'll start out with and show people the secrets of tax lien certificates, and I'll show them how to make money. Now, for some reason, when people attend a seminar, they think, oh, I only can make 16 or 18%. If you can take 16 or 18% and just keep rolling it over, you can end up with $100,000 in a short period of time, just rolling it over within a pension plan or an IRA. What if you take more than that and you do it every year? So you can retire easily on tax certificates because of the great revenue. I also teach them how to buy these properties for 10 and 20 cents on the dollar. But I don't just teach them how to do it. We show them people doing it, and we show them doing it online. This is now an online business. They can sit at home. Once they get into our system, we give every client that ever comes near us, they get a coach for 1 year every Wednesday. For 1 year. There is no competitor that could even get near us to do that. Plus, every day, there's someone to teach them what to do. All they have to do is go below me, get registered. You're going to spend a big $47 to do that. The people that sign up, show up. You've got to go below me and get signed up. This was video number 4. Certainly go back and visit the other 3. We're glad to have you. You'll get 10 times, you'll get 100 times your money's worth.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for allowing me to put you through this series of videos that we could get through all of my questions anyway. I've got a lot more, but we're going to cover those on the one day. And guys, this is your opportunity to advance your business, advance your career. There's going to be real estate deals that are going to involve tax liens and tax deeds. For nothing more than to get the education on this, you need to be there for the one day. And what better investment than to be with the world's leading expert on, hey, tax liens, tax deeds, what to do, how to do it. Thank you so much, Ted Thomas, for being here, making yourself available. I know financially you don't have to give up your Saturday. You certainly can invest it in other ways, like with your feet in the air, drinking a pina colada. But thank you for giving up your Saturday for us. We so much appreciate you. Yeah, baby.